don't fit. The other concern I have is, and I'm big on diversity and making sure that we have fair amount of our diversity. And from the numbers I've seen for a long time, I have not seen much diversity on this board. If I'm wrong, please somebody correct me. How many African Americans are on the board now? How many African Americans have been in this program for the last 20 years? I don't know, but it seems like to me, I got an email from someone saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, it sounds like to me it is broke. Since we don't have any diversity on there or nothing like that, I think we need to fix the problem. And that to me is what, I'm glad you all looking into that, and I just want to know, is there been any?
Sure. We did look at both things. We looked at specifically diversity on the Planning Commission, Planning Commission, that's what's in your packet. We also spent a great deal of time asking about background on the Rural Land Management Board. And according to our research, there has never been a person of color on the Rural Land Management Board. That was certainly not on purpose or intentional, I don't believe, on anybody's part. As you know, everybody who was submitted on that list of criteria, they nominate 2 names or 1 name. The mayor chooses them. You know, if he or she is only allowed to pick from the crop that is given to them. So one of the things that we just realized here was that was an issue that maybe people didn't realize was present. And that's kind of one of those things that just kind of happens when it's not. That's just a matter of fact. So that one of the reasons that we thought about adding the neighborhood leaders to this group was to have a little bit more intentional, maybe diversity of thought and background on this. And I greatly respect Mr. Penn's comments. I mean, you're correct in terms of the intent of the board at its creation. And certainly intent I think we saw in some of these conversations.
Thank you. Councilmember Plowman.
Thank you, Chair. I remember we were back in our committee meeting, I guess it was after verification approval, that we did have a conversation talking about, and this had to do with the Planning Commission only. And we also brought up the Board of Adjustments at that time. But I don't remember the Rural Land Management even coming into that conversation. So when that went into committee, that was the only 2 I thought we were addressing. So this was a surprise to me. I really just found out about it. But when reading the ordinance that was put together back in 2000, it's very clear, I think, that the specific purpose for the Rural Land Management Board is tasked with requiring expertise and interest in rural and natural lands, preservation and conservation, agriculture, and finance. And I sit on the Stormwater Advisory Board. I know nothing really about that. I was a non-voting member. But I look around that room, I'd say 90% are men, no diversity. And most of the folks know something about stormwater. Well, Peggy, you were on that board. And most of the room knows something about stormwater advisory, or being in that position to know. So I'm not sure that the Rural Land Management Board in the rural area is best served with folks that don't know what the rural area is about. So I would oppose that. I believe also, why do we want to add 2 more members? And I think it's healthy to have someone from Rural Land Management Board on the Planning Commission so that we have continuity and so that we can share the importance of things that perhaps somebody else would have no idea that sits on that board. Mm-hmm. So that's where I am. Again, I don't even know why we're having to change it. I think that it's done a great job. We've got 31,000 of the 50,000 acres. The folks that are on that board know that rural area better than anyone in our community. So I would be opposed to any changes to that. Thank you for your work. Thank you.